My mother and brother branded me a criminal before I lost my baby teeth. Now, as she pleads with a judge to visit him in juvie, I taste the irony like blood from a bitten cheek. Nathan and I were reflections. Same cowlick, same gap-toothed grin, same face that made teachers squint to tell us apart. At 7, I didn't understand why he crammed pebbles into Mrs. Kellerman's gas tank. 5 days straight, gravel clattering like misplaced laughter. When the principal called, Mom's perfume turned acrid with panic. 2 choices: condemn her volatile 9-year-old or sacrifice her good son. She chose me. The suspension letter used the word malicious. My teacher's eyes sharpened into shivs after that. Nathan learned 3 truths that week. 1. Tears could be weaponized. 2. Mom's love was transactional. 3. I'd always be his shadow. At 11, he pilfered a $20 bill from her Coach wallet. Mom sold my Xbox without a trial. "You've always been the troublemaker," she said, ignoring the math. Nathan's hands fit the theft. Mine were sticky with Capri Sun. 14 brought Amy Nguyen, my first kiss, my first ally. Nathan dated Claire Ito, captain of the debate team. We were mirror images again, until Amy filmed the back of Nathan's head nuzzling some girl behind the bleachers. The video went nuclear. He didn't flinch, just pointed at me and whispered, "Hey, looks enough like me, right?" The school crucified me. Mom lit the pyre. By dinner, my phone buzzed with aunts and uncles disowning me in emoji-filled texts. Our family worshipped at the altar of appearances. I was the cracked idol. I stopped fighting, stopped speaking, became a ghost haunting my own life, counting days until college. But ghosts don't stay buried. I should have known peace was a myth Nathan would shatter. By junior year, whispers slithered through locker-lined halls. He roofied a girl at Jake Ritter's party, left her memory gutted like a fish. I didn't know truth from rumor, only that the timeline fit. Nathan smirked the next morning, the raw skin on his knuckles. I started compiling evidence, text timestamps, Snapchat geotags, a dossier to force confession. But Nathan's vengeance moved faster. Monday. Eggshells crusted my backpack, yolks dripping like open wounds. Wednesday. A jock's fist grazed my temple in the cafeteria, his breath hot with rapist. By Friday, I was a feral thing, flinching at slamming lockers. Then the Instagram notification. At Anonymous Justice 17 tagged you. The post bloomed on my screen. Home address. Phone. School schedule. This is the face of the boy who thinks consent is a punchline. Bile climbed my throat. My fingers numbed, scrolling WhatsApp through a tunnel of static. Only one contact untouched by the purge. Dad. Last message. 2013. A birthday gif of dancing cupcakes. He answered on half a ring. Need an Uber? 4 Corollas crawled past my street as I slid into the cab. Tinted windows, bass throbbing. They carried baseball bats and the kind of rage that mistakes a face for a sin. Yay. Dad's apartment smelled of pine sol and the vanilla car freshener I'd bought him at 8. No questions. No why now. Just Polar Express queued up, the VHS tape warped from my childhood. Tom Hanks said, "Sometimes the most real things," and the dam broke. Sobs racked my ribs, ugly, snot-filled, alive. Nathan's lies still hunted me. But here, in this room, I remembered. Not everyone loved the reflection more than the boy. The panic attack hit like a seizure. Lungs clawing for air, vision splintering into static. I thrust my phone at him, screen cracked like my voice. Dad didn't flinch. "You're not him," he said, calm as a surgeon. Never were. 4 words unraveled 14 years of knots. Yet over lukewarm cocoa, he spilled the backstory I'd been gaslit into forgetting. Mom's golden child obsession, his own futile attempts to shield me. Every time I called her out, His thumb brushed a crescent scar under his sleeve. Get creative. I choked out Mom's lie. He hit her, he hit us, and watched his eyes shudder. Not anger, grief. "I forgive you," he whispered. Not "I'm sorry," not "she lied," just "forgiven." The weight lifted so violently I wept into his flannel shirt. He let me stain it. "Sleep here," he said, steering me to a guest room smelling of mothballs and safety. "I'll fix this." I should have asked how. Instead, I sank into a coma-like sleep, unaware he'd already filed 3 restraining orders and subpoenaed Nathan's phone records. Sunday dawned with 37 missed calls. Mom's voicemails oscillated between shrieks and silence therapy. The texts were worse. "You gonna die of ****** T** from blocked numbers." I powered off the device and followed the smell of browning butter. Dad stood at the stove, spatula in hand, humming Sinatra. Chocolate chips or blueberries? The question shattered me. Mom's breakfasts had been protein bars tossed at my head. We ate in syrup-stained silence until he nudged. Your turn. The truth spilled. Megan's video, the rocks in the gas tank, the Xbox martyrdom. He took notes in a leather-bound journal. Courtroom habits bleeding through. She made Nathan perjure himself, he said finally, tapping a deposition transcript. Told the judge I terrorized you both. His laugh was bitter. Joke's on her. Family court judges hate being played. Outside, a cardinal tapped the window. Inside, the first ember of justice glowed. We build firewalls of truth, Dad said, spreading printed timelines across the kitchen table. The pizza receipt materialized like a holy relic. 9:27 p.m. delivery, pepperoni grease still staining the PDF. My PlayStation trophies glowed as Exhibit B. Dragonborn Slayer, 2:14 a.m. Digital alibi, Dad muttered, fingers flying across his laptop. Now we weaponize it. Monday morning, the school's attendance secretary sighed into the phone. Half the PTA wants you expelled. Dad didn't blink. Note his file, harassment-related absence. We'll subpoena your security tapes next. The Instagram account bloomed at 1:03 p.m. At actualinnocent_17. No frills. Just timestamps, geolocations, and a screenshot of my Skyrim save file hovering over Whiterun. The caption, check the math. I DM'd the link to Computer Club lurkers, Asher Wu, who'd once debugged my Python script, and Priya Patel, who traded memes but never lunch. Neutrality was their brand. Please share if you believe me, I typed, fingers trembling. By 3 p.m., Asher had dissected the metadata like a frog in Biolab. Priya cross-posted to a Discord server of anime fans with a single line. Y'all really think this dude could flirt, let alone roofie someone? Doubt rippled through the hive mind. Is you sure it was him? PS4 don't lie. Bro's built like a baby deer. The vindication was microscopic, but Dad fist-bumped me anyway. First domino? He said, brewing chamomile tea like a war general. I almost believed him. Almost. Tuesday stretched like a life sentence. Dad's apartment, all beige walls and ticking clocks, became my asylum. I paced between fridge and couch, each creak of floorboards a potential mob. Megan's text arrived at 12:47 p.m. Her contact photo, a sunflower emoji, bloomed on my screen. My pulse jackhammered. I saw your post. Been thinking... Her words unraveled in real time. No face, just a silhouette with my slouch. No memory, just a missing shirt, a phantom ache. But the ring. Navy sapphire glinting as he led her upstairs. It's Nathan's ring. The one he'd flaunted after winning regionals. Its gemstone, the exact blue of our school colors. Mine, a Walmart silicone band for gym class. Any chance you'd tell people it might not be me? I typed, thumbprint fogging the screen. Maybe. It wasn't exoneration, but the fissure in her certainty widened. Shush, and I spent the afternoon dissecting Nathan's Instagram, zooming on every hand, every party pic. There, September 12th, his ring finger weighted with that gaudy stone. I screenshot it, tagged Megan. Still maybe? She left me on red. Wednesday dawned with pounding, not my heart, the front door. Mom's voice sliced through peephole distortion. Open up, Alex, now. Her fist held paperwork. Her eyes held Chernobyl. The door shuddered under her fists. Boom, 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 through the fisheye lens, Mom's face warped into a gargoyle's. Lips peeled from teeth, eyes radioactive with fury. The school says you're hiding here. Spittle dotted the peephole. Open this door before I call the police. I backed away, knees liquefied. Dad's text glowed. 20 minutes. Don't engage. She switched tactics, voice syrup sweet. Baby, I've forgiven you. Let's fix this together. Her iPhone buzzed in my pocket. Forgiveness as a weaponized emoji storm. When silence fell, a note slithered under the door. Your father brainwashed you. Come home, and we'll erase this misunderstanding. I photographed it, the paper reeking of her Chanel No. 5, a scent that once meant bedtime stories. By Friday, the school's hive mind buzzed with new code. Megan's uncertainty, V12. Nathan's contradiction, error, timestamp mismatch. Asher slid into my DMs. Dude showed your Skyrim save as alibi in chem. Mrs. Lee looked shook. Only, but Nathan metastasized the lie. Saw him carry her upstairs. He told the varsity squad, arms slung around Jake Ritter. Dude even winked at me. The weekend was a ceasefire. Dad and I marathoned Lord of the Rings, our chopsticks dueling over the last dumpling. He taught me poker tells. Flared nostrils mean bluffs. And I almost forgot the war outside. Sunday night, Jake's text detonated the peace. Asterisk, meet me 7-Eleven parking lot. Got proof it wasn't you, Dad's jaw tightened. Could be a trap, could be a witness. He palmed his keys, the metal biting his skin. Either way, we go tactical. The clock blinked 6:45 p.m. Outside, the streetlights hummed. Flare. Somewhere, Nathan's ring glinted in the dark. Dad turned the apartment into a tactical op. Kitchen table meeting. I'll be in the bedroom. 3 knocks if you need extraction. Jake arrived smelling of Axe body spray and guilt. His eyes darted like a spooked deer's, car keys jingling a nervous Morse code. Swear you won't dime me out, he blurted, thumb hovering over his iPhone. My parents find out I partied while they were in Cabo. The video loaded pixel by pixel, grainy but undeniable. Nathan's Letterman jacket guiding Megan's limp frame upstairs. Timestamp, 9:37 p.m., 7 minutes after my pepperoni salvation arrived. Why bury this? My voice cracked. Jake's throat bobbed. He's QB1. I'm backup. You're you. The airdrop pinged. I let him leave, believing his cowardice stayed secret. Dad emerged, face lit by the damning footage. This isn't just defense, he said, fingers steepled. It's checkmate. Wednesday morning, the police station's fluorescence bleach burned my retinas. Dad's hand anchored my shoulder as we approached the front desk. We need to report cyber harassment and sexual assault, he said, sliding a USB drive across the counter. The officer's nameplate read Espinoza, same as Megan's mom. Serendipity's first gift. Detective Palmer's boredom evaporated when Dad said false sexual assault allegations. Her coffee cup hit the desk with a clatter. We laid out the evidence like a prosecutor's opening argument. Exhibit A. The Instagram post, my address pixelated but legible. Exhibit B. Skyrim's timestamp glowing beside Jake's grainy footage. Exhibit C. A spreadsheet of threats, you gonna die X42. Anonymous tipster sent the video, Dad said, eyes steady. But the metadata's intact. Palmer's pen froze. Defamation, doxing, we'll subpoena the account. She turned to me. Want to press charges? The question hung like a guillotine. Nathan's face flickered in my mind, smirking, untouchable. I just wanted to stop. I rasped. We'll start with cease and desists, Dad interjected, squeezing my shoulder. And a restraining order. That night, we mapped war strategies over cold, low Maine. Transfer schools, Dad offered. Fresh start. The noodles turned to ash in my mouth. Running meant Nathan's shadow would still choke me. I need to burn his lies to the ground. Dad's grin was all blade. Then we attack at the source. Then Megan agreed to meet at Purgatory Cafe, a hipster haunt reeking of burnt espresso and virtue signaling. She chose a table bathed in sunlight as if public visibility could armor her. Thanks for coming, I said, sliding the phone across the table. The screen froze on Nathan's ring hand gripping Megan's waist. Her breath hitched. That's his jacket. Outside, a car backfired. Inside, the truth detonated. Megan's hands trembled as she pressed play. The phone's glow hollowed her cheeks, the timestamp screaming 9:37 p.m. in blood-red digits. That's his championship hoodie, she whispered, fingernails biting her palm. The one with the torn pocket. I didn't speak. Let the video loop. Nathan's ring glinting, Megan's head lolling. I'm sorry, she choked. Everyone kept saying it was you, and he sounded so sure. He's had practice, I said, airdropping the file. Her phone chimed, a cheerful bloop at odds with the carnage. She left clutching her latte like a shield. Dawn broke with Megan's Instagram post. I was wrongs, in stark white text against a black screen. The video autoplayed, her caption and tagging the school, the police, Teen Vogue. I believed lies because they were loud. Here's the truth, even if it's quiet. My phone combusted. At Asherwu. Holy shit, at Priya Patel, told you he was innocent. At a non-troll 17. Deep fake much? Nathan's text arrived like a Molotov. You dead soon. Dad photographed the shattered screen, forwarded it to Detective Palmer. Stay home, she ordered. We're moving. Mom and Nathan came at dusk. Open this door, you liar, she howled, mascara bleeding into wrinkles I'd never noticed. Nathan's fist dented the frame. I'll fucking end you. Dad called security without rising from his armchair. They'll tire themselves out, he said, sipping Earl Grey. They didn't. The cops dragged Nathan off mid-swing, Mom screaming about parental rights. Detective Palmer's call came at 7:03 a.m. Nathan suspended. DA's reviewing for criminal charges. I stared at my Skyrim save file, still paused over Whiterun. The dragon still circled. But so did I. Tyler Moss, Nathan's linebacker shadow, cracked first. Detective Palmer's update came crisp as a subpoena. He confessed, said Nathan promised him varsity captaincy if he ran the smear account. The school meeting loomed like a parole hearing. Dad armored up in his courtroom suit, banning Mom from the premises. She'll weaponize tears, he warned Palmer, who reluctantly agreed. That weekend, Nathan's rage metastasized. Friday, 9:14 p.m. At Burner Act 419. You think you won? Wait till Monday. Saturday, 2:37 a.m. A Venmo request for $666.66 labeled funeral flowers. Dad became a war room general. Blocking IPs, screenshotting threats, his espresso machine whirring through the night. Sunday, he declared a ceasefire. Pepperoni pizza and stepbrothers, my childhood comfort combo. I passed out mid-laugh, cheese grease staining the couch. Once. Monday's conference room smelled of lemon sanitizer and overdue accountability. Principal Reynolds' tie knotted too tight, his apology scripted, but sincere. We failed to protect you. Let's rebuild trust. Miss Chen outlined my new armor. Schedule, 0 overlaps with Nathan's kingdom. Lunch, a janitor's closet converted to a safe room. Teachers, daily wellness checks. Red trauma surveillance. And Nathan? I asked. Expulsion hearing pending, Reynolds said, avoiding my eyes. His allies faced detention and probation. Detective Palmer cornered us afterwards, her badge catching the fluorescent light. Tyler's rolling on Nathan for the Instagram terror campaign. DA's adding cyberstalking charges. Outside, April sun speared through gymnasium windows. Dad squeezed my shoulder, a silent breathe, as we passed Nathan's vandalized locker, its surface scarred with lyre and Sharpie. His reign was crumbling. My name was still etched beneath. Tyler's testimony arrived via email, screenshots of Nathan's texts, precise as a hitman's ledger. Post the address, say he's armed, make them scared. Vindication curdled to dread in my throat. Nathan didn't lose. He reloaded. He came at midnight, a specter in a varsity jacket 2 sizes too big. Dad frisked him at the door, finding only car keys and a chapstick. The boy on our couch wasn't my brother. Hunched, twitching, pupils blown, a rabid animal backed into a corner. They're expelling me, he rasped. Megan's dad wants me registered. Why? The word tore from me, raw as the day Mom sold my Xbox. Why me? Nathan studied his hands, still scarred from the rocks he'd shoved in Mrs. Kellerman's gas tank. Mom needed a villain, you were convenient. Dad's silence was a gavel. Help me, Nathan begged, mask slipping. Say you forgive me, for family. The laugh punched out of me, harsh, jagged. You torched family when you doxed me to pedophiles. His face hardened, that same feral glint from childhood. You'll regret this. Dad stepped between us, a human barricade. It's done, Nathan. You don't get to parent me now. Nathan spat, venom aimed at old wounds. The door slam echoed like a gunshot. 3 days passed in limbo. Mom's voicemails oscillated between save your brother and you've killed us. I deleted them all. Friday, Dad stormed in early, tie askew. Nathan's in custody. Broke into Jake's, fractured his orbital bone. The couch swallowed me. Jake's, concussed but alive. Dad's jaw pulsed. Nathan screamed about snitches when they cuffed him. Outside, rain sheeted the windows. Inside, I counted the cracks in our ceiling, each fissure a year I'd spent as Nathan's scapegoat. The system had worked. So why did I feel gutted? The care I felt for Nathan was a phantom limb, severed but still aching. He's my blood, I thought, watching rain distort his mugshot on the local news. Dad's voice cut through the static. Juvenile detention, maybe longer if Jake's parents push. He hesitated, then lobbed the grenade. Your mom wants you back. Never. The word left blood on my teeth. At 17, the court hears you. Dad's laptop glowed with custody forms. We'll armor up. School records, police reports, Uncle Robert's testimony. Testimony? Saturday's knock brought Uncle Robert. Mom's twin in bone structure, her opposite in soul. His flannel smelled of wood smoke and regret. Mind if I? He hovered at the kitchen table, hands cradling coffee like a chalice. I'm sorry, Alex. I let her charisma blind me. Dad stiffened. You're here to help now? The family's waking up. Uncle Robert pulled up a Dropbox link. Grandma's shaky email. I saw the video. Forgive us. Cousin's apology texts. Your mom's unwell. Been feeding us lies like antibiotics. The admission hung. Rotten necessary. I flashed to Mom scrubbing Nathan's knuckles after the gas tank incident, crooning my perfect boy. She needs help, Uncle Robert said. But first, you need protection. He slid a notarized letter toward Dad. I'll testify to her instability. The rages, the fabrications. Dad's eyes narrowed. Why? Because I taught him Skyrim cheats at 8, Uncle Robert said, nodding at me. Kid's a pacifist archer. No way he's a predator. His hug cracked something in me, a fossilized hope. As he left, dawn bled through the blinds. Dad's custody papers lay open, their legalese a lullaby. Nathan's fate, a steel womb. Mom's, a reckoning. Mine, maybe finally, mine. Amber's text arrived like a ghost rattling chains. Saw the video. I'm sorry. Her contact photo, a sunflower from our first date, felt like a relic from someone else's life. Too late, I typed, thumb hovering. Let her marinate in the guilt. Petty? Maybe. But after years as Nathan's chew toy, I'd earned the bite. The courthouse loomed Monday morning, its marble halls echoing with the clack of Dad's dress shoes. Mom materialized like a wraith, hair greasy, pupils dilated. A funhouse mirror of the woman who'd once packed my lunchbox with dinosaur-shaped sandwiches. The bailiff blocked her lunge, arm rigid as a prison bar. The hearing blurred into a surgical strike. Wait. Exhibit A. Nathan's texts, dissected by Dad's lawyer like venom glands. Exhibit B. Uncle Robert's testimony, Mom's perfect son delusions laid bare. Exhibit C. My Skyrim save file still paused mid-quest. The judge, a silver-haired woman with librarian eyes, leaned forward. Where do you want to live, Alex? With my dad. No stutter. And your mother? I studied Mom's chipped nail polish, the tremor in her hands. Maybe someday, not today. The gavel fell. Temporary custody, granted. Visitation, contingent on Mom swallowing her pride in Prozac. She cornered us outside, reeking of mint gum and desperation. You've poisoned everyone against me. Dad tensed, but I stepped forward. You poisoned us, I said, voice steady as the bailiff's grip. Every lie was a spoonful. Now you're choking on it. The tears threatened, hot, furious, but I let them fossilize. In the parking lot, Dad's arm anchored me. Proud of you, was all he said, but it weighted more than any court order. Miss Chen's office that afternoon was all bulletproof glass and fresh Sharpies. Nathan's gone, restraining order active. We've revised your schedule. She handed me a map with classrooms circled like safe houses. I traced the routes. No Nathan, no ambushes, no shadows. For the first time in 17 years, the path ahead was mine alone. Amber's text arrived like a ghost rattling chains. Saw the video? I'm sorry. Her contact photo, a sunflower from our first date, felt like a relic from someone else's life. Too late, I typed, thumb hovering. Let her marinate in the guilt. Petty? Maybe. But after years as Nathan's chew toy, I'd earned the bite. The courthouse loomed Monday morning, its marble halls echoing with the clack of Dad's dress shoes. Mom materialized like a wraith, hair greasy, pupils dilated. A funhouse mirror of the woman who'd once packed my lunchbox with dinosaur-shaped sandwiches. The bailiff blocked her lunge, arm rigid as a prison bar. The hearing blurred into a surgical strike. Exhibit A. Nathan's texts, dissected by Dad's lawyer like venom glands. Exhibit B. Uncle Robert's testimony, Mom's perfect son delusions laid bare. Exhibit C. My Skyrim save file still paused mid-quest. The judge, a silver-haired woman with librarian eyes, leaned forward. Where do you want to live, Alex? With my dad. No stutter. And your mother? I studied Mom's chipped nail polish, the tremor in her hands. Maybe someday, not today. The gavel fell. Temporary custody, granted. Visitation, contingent on Mom swallowing her pride in Prozac. She cornered us outside, reeking of mint gum and desperation. You've poisoned everyone against me. Dad tensed, but I stepped forward. You poisoned us, I said, voice steady as the bailiff's grip. Every lie was a spoonful. Now you're choking on it. The tears threatened, hot, furious, but I let them fossilize. In the parking lot, Dad's arm anchored me. "Proud of you," was all he said, but it weighted more than any court order. Miss Chen's office that afternoon was all bulletproof glass and fresh Sharpies. "Nathan's gone. Restraining order active. We've revised your schedule." She handed me a map with classrooms circled like safe houses. That I traced the routes. No Nathan, no ambushes, no shadows. For the first time in 17 years, the path ahead was mine alone. The school hallway buzzed with sidelong glances and muffled gossip, the air thick with cafeteria grease and unasked questions. My locker door creaked open, a sound I'd once associated with Nathan's ambushes, but now just a hinge needing oil. Yes, Miss Chen hadn't lied. Teachers nodded extra warmly, their smiles brittle with guilt. At lunch, the computer club crew claimed their usual corner booth, Asher tossing me a bag of Takis without breaking his rant about Elden Ring lag. Their casual solidarity was a life raft I clung to silently. Friday's final bell rang like a pardon. There, leaning against my locker like a bruised monument to consequences, stood Jake. His face was a patchwork of healing violence, yellowing orbital bruise, butterfly stitches bisecting his brow. "Hey," he said, scuffing his Vans. I brought this." He handed over a flash drive shaped like a chibi Pikachu. "Security footage backups, in case, you know." I almost laughed. "Thanks. There's a party. Parent approved. No roofies, just shitty punch." He glanced at my raised eyebrow. "Not pressuring, just, you deserve normal." Dad was sautéing garlic shrimp when I got home, our kitchen smelling like a safe harbor. "Jake invited me to a rager," I said, testing the words. "What?" His spatula paused. "You want to go?" "Maybe." The admission fizzed like soda in my chest. Feels weird planning fun instead of escape routes. Dad plated the shrimp, his smile crinkling the scar under his sleeve. "You've got time now, to figure out who you are, when you're not surviving." Later, staring at my ceiling, cracks still there, but familiar now, I let the truth settle. Even Nathan would resurface. Mom's voicemails would keep coming. But the boy who'd taken 17 years of blame, he was learning to exist in present tense. I fell asleep to the hum of Dad's TV downstairs, law order murmuring about justice served. The world had stabilized, yet every notification still prickled my nerves like a corrupted save file. Dad noticed my flinch when my phone vibrated, a Pavlovian twitch carved by years of Nathan's landmine texts. "Swap that alarm tone," he suggested, dicing onions with the precision of a speedrunner. "Use your Skyrim level-up chime. Let good news sound like victory." I did. Now each buzz sang with golden harp strings, a tiny rebirth. Yeah. School settled into pixelated normalcy. The hallways still glitched sometimes, hushed. That's hymns from Varsity Jacket NPCs, but Computer Club had morphed into my fast travel hub. Priya DM'd me cursed code snippets at 2 a.m. Asher demanded I beta test his modded cyberpunk build. Real friends, not just trauma allies. Jake became my unexpected tank, his healing face a battle scar. When a linebacker sneered Roofie King in the cafeteria, Jake materialized like an aggro-drawn guardian, all cracked knuckles and cold "say it again." I didn't need a bodyguard, but the backup was nice. Friday's Discord ping brought Uncle Robert's invite. "Dinner Saturday. Grandma's coming. She's trying." Dad nudged me with his coffee mug. Blood doesn't equal obligation, but closure's a decent side quest. Uncle Robert's Prius smelled of pine air freshener and unspoken apologies. He monologued about Cousin Beth's MIT acceptance, Uncle Greg's midlife crisis baseboat, normal family lore I'd been locked out of. Grandma waited in her mothball-scented cardigan, hands trembling like dial-up loading. "There's my boy," she rasped, arms wide. Her hug felt like uninstalling a decade of silence. "I'm sorry," she breathed into my collar. "Should have seen you weren't the virus." Mashed potatoes congealed on my plate as she asked about Dad's driving lessons. "He's got your grandpa's patience," she said, and for once, Mom's ghost didn't hijack the conversation. After blueberry pie, Uncle Robert cornered me by his retro Zelda poster collection. "Your mom's blasting the family group chat, calling you a narrative hacker." My gut dropped to the lava pits level. "They buying it?" "She's shouting into a DMCA takedown." He smirked, bitter. "We're building a firewall." The drive home pulsed with cicada screams and possibility. I texted Dad, "Still team custody?" His reply glowed with Skyrim harp strings. "Always quest log updated." Nathan's early release hit like a corrupted save file. Progress lost, danger respawned. Dad's attorney assured us the 500-foot force field held, but I kept glimpsing Nathan's smirk in crowded hallways that dissolved into strangers. Uncle Robert's intel was bleak. He's holed up with your mom, playing house like none of this happened. School rumor mill claimed colleges had blacklisted him. Good, I thought, biting into a granola bar until it crumbled. Let him choke on consequences. May's false spring shattered when the intercom blared. Alex Williams to the principal's office. My palm slicked the Skyrim keychain Dad had bought me, a tiny iron dagger charm. Mr. Reynolds' office reeked of burnt coffee and bad news. The unfamiliar cop, Officer Garcia, leaned against the filing cabinet, thumbs hooked in her duty belt. Your mother filed a report, she said. Claims your father's unstable. The laugh tore from me, jagged and feral. She's describing herself. Dad arrived within minutes, tie askew, eyes scanning me for damage. Abusive? He barked a sound halfway between laugh and sob. I've got years of her texts saying otherwise. Officer Garcia flipped through Mom's statement. She alleges you've brainwashed Alex, withheld meals, sold his... She squinted. Dragonborn statue? It's a video game trophy, I muttered. Digital, imaginary, like her entire narrative. Dad's jaw pulsed. Run a background check. Pull her psych evals from the custody case. Hell, subpoena Nathan's juvie intake forms. We'll investigate thoroughly, Garcia cut in, but her tone said paperwork purgatory. That night, I lay awake, parsing shadows on my ceiling, now spiderwebbed with glow stars Dad had stuck up as a joke. You're Orion now, he'd said. Hunter, not prey. Nathan's face flickered in the dark. Mom's lies metastasized. But my dagger keychain glinted on the nightstand, a pixelated weapon, real as the truth. The principal's office clock ticked like a detonator. Officer Garcia's questions hung in the air, rotten fruit thrown by Mom's desperation. She provided photos, Garcia said, sliding crime scene Polaroids across the desk. My mother's forearm bloomed with yellowing bruises. Claims your father did this during visitation. Impossible. My phone trembled in my grip as I pulled up the calendar Dr. Melissa had me color code. Teal for therapy, gold for Dad's driving lessons, crimson for panic attacks. Haven't seen her since the custody order. Here, every hour accounted for. Garcia's pen scratched the notepad. She says your dad brainwashed you, turned you against Nathan. Nathan confessed. My voice cracked. To teachers, to cops, to Jake's orbital bone. The officer's radio static filled the silence. We'll verify your alibis, he finally said, but his eyes had softened, the shift from suspect to survivor. Dad was prepping dinner when I called, onions sizzling like my frayed nerves. Her Hail Mary play, he said, unfazed. The hearing's next week. She's out of moves. That night, the nightmares returned. Nathan leaning in my childhood doorway, Xbox controller wires snaking around his fists. You'll always be my safe point, he hissed. Dr. Melissa had me journal the dreams in Comic Sans. Font of absurdity defangs the fear, she said. It worked mostly. Then Megan's email arrived. Subject line. Thought you should know. Nathan's latest gaslight glowed on screen. Alex doctored the video, hacked my texts. You were his pawn. Megan's PS burned brightest. He's scared, you're winning. I forwarded it to Dad's attorney, CCing Dr. Melissa. The custody hearing wasn't just about Mom anymore. It was about ensuring Nathan's voice stayed muted forever. The courthouse hummed with the static of impending judgment. Dad's pancakes sat like concrete in my gut, their maple syrup optimism curdling under fluorescent lights. Mom's perfume, that same cloying vanilla from childhood, drifted across the aisle as we entered. Nathan sat statue still beside her, eyes glazed like a corrupted NPC. Our attorney detonated the evidence bombshell by bombshell. Exhibit 12. Megan's email. Nathan's gaslighting preserved in digital amber. Exhibit 13. 3 sworn affidavits from students recounting his whispered, Alex framed me campaigns. Exhibit 14. My therapy logs, color-coded like a war map. Mom's lawyer lunged during cross, venom dripping. Where were you when Nathan shoved gravel into that gas tank? When Alex cried himself to sleep? Dad didn't flinch. Sending Lego sets he never received. Writing letters returned addressee unknown. Paying child support she spent on Nathan's football camps. He slid a decade's worth of postal receipts across the bench. I was always here. She just bricked the door. When they called me up, the oath tasted of copper and code. A promise to speak truth glitched by years of lies. The new judge's avatar loomed. steely bun, no-nonsense glasses. Describe your current situation. Safe. The word ignited something. I've got a bedroom where the lock works. Grades aren't weaponized. Dad taught me oil changes and how to spot gaslighting. Mom's attorney pounced. Don't you miss family dinners? Holiday traditions? I miss not being the villain in every cutscene. The gaming slang slipped out, raw and perfect. Dad sees me as me, not Nathan's shadow, not Mom's scapegoat. The judge leaned forward. Contact with your mother, brother? Mom's breath hitched, a sound I'd once mistaken for love. Maybe if she admits the truth, I said. But Nathan? His head snapped up, eyes glitching with that same childhood malice. Oh, he's not my brother. He's a virus I finally quarantined. The gavel fell. The judge's gavel cracked like a gunshot, its echo shredding the last tether to my old life. Permanent custody granted to the father. Mom's wail pierced the room, a feral, wounded sound. She clawed at Nathan's arm, but he sat motionless, eyes glazed like a corrupted save file. I waited for the vindication, the triumph, but felt only static. Numbness, I realized, was the body's firewall after years of emotional DDoS attacks. Uncle Robert intercepted us outside, his aftershave cutting through the courthouse's antiseptic stench. Family's with you, he muttered, squeezing my shoulder. Even the cousins you hate. Dad ordered a pepperoni avalanche that night. We marathoned Back to the Future, Marty McFly's temporal chaos mirroring my own fractured timeline. Halfway through part 2, the reality detonated. This was permanent. No more midnight panics, no more locker-side ambushes, no more Mom's vanilla-scented gaslighting. The tears came sudden and violent, a corrupted XA finally purged. Dad froze the screen on Doc Brown's manic grin. You're okay, he said, not asking. I keep waiting, I hiccuped, for the cheat code to fail. No cheats here. He gestured at our pizza-crumbed chaos. Just respawn points. The months that followed were blissfully mundane. September. Nathan vanished to some no-name college, his digital footprint scrubbed. October. Mom's therapist faxed progress reports, reeking of performative guilt. December. I aced my driver's test in Dad's Corolla, its engine humming loyalty. Senior year arrived without fanfare. I joined the coding club, designed a game where the hero's greatest power wasn't strength or speed, but believing the truth. At our first meetup, a freshman asked why my character couldn't duel the final boss. Because some battles, I said, compiling the code with a smirk, you win by walking away. Life had become a debugged program. No fatal errors, just predictable loops of coding marathons, and Riley's laughter cutting through compile-time silences. Teachers addressed me as Alex, not Nathan's shadow. The past lingered only in hexadecimal. A fading error log ends. Dad's kitchen table bombshell arrived mid-October. Nathan 2.0 crashed. Campus cameras caught him rerouting cafeteria funds. Expelled. I choked on my Mountain Dew. Let me guess. Mom wants me to tech support his morality patch? Dad's smirk was a firewall. Told her you're busy compiling your future. That night, I drafted a letter to Nathan. Not in Word, but raw XD format. No encryption, just truth bytes. For I1 to 17. Print, you broke me. Next I saved it as last_ransom_note.txt, but never exceed it. Some code deserves to stay quarantined. Dr. Melissa greenlit my logic. Healing isn't backward compatibility. Graduation day glowed with 60 FPS clarity. Sunlight rendering the auditorium in 4K. Dad's camcorder whirred beside Uncle Robert's jittery livestream. As they called my name, I spotted Mom's avatar pixelating in the back, vanilla perfume glitching through the crowd. Her wave was a misaligned UDP packet. I let it time out. Ooh. Afterward, Riley and I geeked over campus maps, her dorm a tracer route away. Dad slid me a thumb drive labeled adulting_101. Budgets, tax forms, a Bitcoin wallet seed phrase. That night, I dreamt in source code. Nathan's IP, banned from my server. Mom's cookies, declined. My firewall, impenetrable. I woke to Dad's infamous burnt toast and realized I'd respawned into a better timeline. That summer ran like optimized code. No glitches, no lag. I debugged laptops at Bite Tackle Repair, grease smudges blending with sunscreen. Evenings, Dad and I cast lines into the lake with Grandpa's gear, its rusted reels whirring like ancient hard drives. For the first time, sleep wasn't a minefield of corrupted saves. Jake's farewell LAN party glowed with CRT nostalgia. We demolished pepperoni while speed-running GoldenEye. Yearbooks repurposed as relic discs. As the crowd thinned, Jake cornered me by the router stack. "Never tagged you as a final boss survivor," he said, fist-bumping my shoulder. Turns out I'm OP when not nerfed by family drama. The drive west was a render distance resetting. Dad's Corolla devoured highway pixels, our hometown shrinking to a minimap dot. Campus bloomed. A fresh server, no cached trauma. My dorm room echoed with Virgin Ethernet ports. Dad overstocked my mini-fridge with Gatorade and trauma-bonding jokes. His parting gift? A framed JPEG of our grad day grins, captioned, "First achievement unlocked. Countless respawns ahead." My roommate, a cybersecurity major with Minecraft cufflinks, eyed the photo. "Tight with your fam?" "Dad's my system admin." I booted my rig, its fans purring. Firewall set to maximum. Out the window, California sunlight refracted through smog. Somewhere, Mom's voicemails piled up. Nathan's IP probably pinged some dropout for him. This didn't matter. My quest log stretched virgin and vast. No NPCs gaslighting, no raid bosses named family. Just me, a dev kit future, and Dad's firewall humming on the horizon.